Yes, hey everyone, it's me Rao Rao, and today I am here to tell you how to identify your work. And nowadays, major problem of all the students, they can't able to identify of his work, and that's why they don't able to manage his time. And you also know in student life, time is the money. And when you waste your time, then you also waste your money. And let me tell you how to identify your work. And in sometimes you got a lots of work, and that time you confuse which work I will do first. And when you get a such that of situation, that time you divide your work in four parts. First is important or emergency work, and second is not a important but a emergency, and third is important but not a emergency, and at last not a important or not a emergency. And when you identify your work in the first part like a important or emergency, then you do this work first of all, because it is the very important. And second thing is that not a important but a emergency. Sometimes happen while I may study, that time someone call me and they call me emergency, so that time you don't deny it, and then you do emergency work, because you also study in later. But when you deny your emergency, then you can't able to change it in future. Second thing, and third thing is important but not an emergency. So you delay this work for 1 and 2 hours, maybe 1 and 2 days, but you don't forget to do this work. And after completed your first part and second part, then you do third things. And along with, you get a not a important or not a emergency. Sometimes that happen ki my friend call me for parties and for fun and for gaming, but it is not a important and not a emergency. But all those students involved in this field, and they waste his time. And you also know it is not a, and you saw in corporate sector and in student life you got lots of work such that and when you get a such that of work like a not important or not an emergency, then you try to do this work to someone. Okay, and then it's make a habit and such that you identify your work. And I want to say last point, means nowadays our youth don't know how to say no. Whilst someone doing a work, and that time someone call you for working, and that time you don't say no. And this is the biggest problem, to leave your work and do them work. When you busy, that time you say directly, I am busy and I'll do your work later. But before saying no, you identify the work of them. Suppose it is the emergency, then you leave your work and then do his work, them work, and such that you able to manage your time. And this is my first part of time management, and I'll make also lots of video about the time management. Thank you.